Welcome to this comprehensive technical walkthrough of our automated loan application processing workflow, an enterprise-grade system designed to systematically manage customer financing requests from initial ingestion to final disbursement. The primary objective of this business process architecture is to validate compliance, minimize operational risk, and establish absolute transparency across every stage of the life cycle. The process officially initiates when an applicant accesses the interface to complete a highly detailed loan application form. This structural form acts as the primary data entry matrix, capturing critical customer parameters. These fields include the applicant's full legal name, their national identification card or CNIC number, validated telephone contacts, residential address history, and verified employment or business status. In addition to these identity fields, the applicant must specify their current monthly income. Declare the exact financing type they are requesting, such as home, car, or personal financing, and input the total desired financing amount. To finalize this submission phase, the applicant uploads supporting documentation, including the last 6 months of verified bank statements and collateral details, before applying their signature to submit the digital package directly to the central data store. Once submitted, the workflow exits the customer interface and routes directly into our internal backend system, landing in the task queue of the customer service officer. The core responsibility at this position is to perform an immediate intake review and verify document completeness. The platform runs a checklist logic, routing the transaction directly into the first major operational decision gateway. If any mandatory financial statements or identity records are missing or corrupted, the system executes the no path. The status is updated to trigger a leap-back condition, sending a formal request for resubmission back to the customer portal. The customer must then interact with the system to provide the corrected files before the process can continue. Conversely, when the submission passes the completeness check, the gateway branches down the yes path. The customer service officer signs off on the verification and forwards the complete data package directly to the credit officer lane. The credit officer lane is where the rigorous financial assessment and underwriting take place. The credit officer executes two primary verification tasks. First, they perform a comprehensive credit check to review past repayment history and identify any historical credit anomalies. Second, they analyze the attached bank statements to evaluate the applicant's current repayment capacity and calculate their overall debt-to-income metrics. This assessment is fed into our second critical decision gateway to determine if the customer is eligible. If the applicant's credit history is problematic or their income falls below the strict safety threshold, the system takes the no route. The application status shifts to a formal rejection, closing out the transaction, and a rejection notice is automatically dispatched to the customer pool. If all core parameters are met, the gateway validates as yes, and the credit officer compiles the valuation report to forward the package directly to the branch manager lane. At the senior supervisory level, the branch manager acts as the ultimate authority for approval and risk mitigation. The manager initiates a final review task, auditing the validation logs, inspecting the requested financing amount, and checking the underwriting notes. This leads directly to our third strategic gateway, approve financing. If the manager decides that the risk profile violates organizational policies, the workflow follows the no branch. The request is flagged as rejected financing, closing the file and sending a notification to the customer. However, if the manager approves the transaction, the gateway branches to yes. The manager executes the approve financing task, stamping a cryptographic approval sign-off into the system log, which releases the file to the administrative departments dealt with the final approval secured. The system splits the remaining tasks into specialized lanes for back-end fulfillment. First, the file enters the operations department lane. The operations team is responsible for preparing the formal, legally binding financing agreement and updating the internal banking system records to map the new active asset. Once these database logs are updated, a message trigger shifts the workflow into the finance department lane. The finance team executes the final fulfillment task to disperse funds. They verify the destination routing and execute a secure bank transfer to disperse the approved financing amount directly into the customer's account. As the payment clears, a confirmation notification is dispatched to the customer.